about the great crisis in life, the mighty moments of truth, and wonder how we would face them. Yet, it is the little panics, the pressure squeezes of daily life that brings on those mental blackouts which makes us appear to be less than we are. Friends, when our word is questioned, for example, instead of the stating our case more convincingly, frequently grow dark-minded and blurt out some reply, regret later. Or when we match wits in conversation, we may get and subside into banalities. Sometimes, under pressure, we, we say something utterly different from what we intend. Like the young man who became so nervous in his boss's office that he asked for a salary raise for someone else. My friend, this is what that is why it is required to have know or learn the fine art of keeping one's head. Our failures to handle the little crises in life can accumulate to destroy the very thing that we all wish for, to be completely ourselves, to show others we are all that we know ourselves to be. Happily, my friend, the ability to keep one's head is not something one is born with or without. One can learn these things. It is within everyone's reach. My friend, the tranquility of mind, so necessary for one's happiness and for the accomplishment of good work, it can be acquired and learned. And the primary way to learn to handle ourselves well under pressure, we all know and practice most of the time, is by observing life around us and adjusting to its rhythms. And one sure method is to study those who have already mastered this art. My friend, these persons are often found in the 10 sets jobs. Among them are business executives, the mediator, the politicians, the renowned players, or the successful surgeons, engineers, soldiers, far too many people. The experiences of such men and women reveal even methods, keys to the art of keeping one's head in a crisis or under pressure. And the corollary art of taking the steam out of a crisis as it begins to build up. And one of the finest methods I feel, and most of us use it, that's using humor. There is no greater force, my friend, for breaking tension. I'm a soldier. I remember in India, Indo-Burman Operation Theatre during World War II, British Field Marshal Viscount William J. Slim. He searched for a way to reassure his staff after a major defeat. Japanese was simply unstoppable. That he had to keep the morale up and operations going. Things could be worse, he said. And suddenly, how? Asked so many voices from the rear. Well, the general said it could be raining. And everybody burst out laughing. The tension eased. Since it is not always possible, my friend, to think of a humorous remark on the spur of the moment, it helps to keep a favorite story or two in mind to change the atmosphere when it clouds up. I remember an Indian politician his supporters or his party people. It's a peculiar situation we face. Those who want no control are going to vote against this motion. And apparently, some of those who want more control against it too. And that reminds me of a spinster unmarried girl or a woman who went to a furniture store and asked if she could trade in her old-fashioned double for twin beds. The shopkeeper said, "That's unusual request. What's the object?" She said, "I live alone, and every night before I retire, look under my bed to see if a man is there. If I have two beds, my chances would be doubled." Again, people were relaxed. They went back to the floor, fought with fresh reasoning, and look, the motion was passed. Besides humor, my friend, I think taking your time is another method for keeping your keeping one's head normal. There is a temptation among all of us that under pressure to act quickly, a little delay may bring a missing answer to mind. I remember a friend of mine who teaches English once forgot the author's name of a play which he was discussing in the classroom. And his students started beginning to sense instead of, you see, panting or fumbling. However, he kept the conversation going and letting time as it passes coax the answer out of the mind. And he remembered the name of the author. So take your time. Don't be in hurry. Then I feel that's don't never dominate. Don't dominate. Trying to get self-satisfaction through victory of our ideas, of our wills, lead to endless tensions. Everyone hates to find himself out on a limb, yet often force an opponent's subordinate or an employee into that awkward position by our demands. So don't dominate. Just remain cool. Another effective method I feel is for keeping your head is considering motives. Nothing causes us to lose our head so quickly as sharp criticism or insults. Most of the insults, my friend, we get are not actually directed to us. Usually, the they are really angry at someone else, a relative, an employee, a spouse, children. He's simply taking it out on us. That is a point we could all make more use of it. Remember that it takes two to fight. Just slither out of the situation, have patience, and all will be settled in due course of time. And ultimately, last point I feel to keeping your head is important, be prepared. I remember a general, he would check, recheck, and again double check all the data information given by his staff before entering to a conference hall. He never entered a conference hall having made a good prediction of what will be the outcome of the conference. So confident. He never entered a conference hall nervously or left angrily. I always called him the calmest general I knew. My friend, all these methods I have discussed, you see, using humor, taking your time, not dominating, considering motives, and being prepared. Remember, keeping your head affects your well-being of hormones. If we lose our head frequently in small crises, we produce excess of certain hormones, and certain hormones we restrict. Most of the diseases, my friends,